Today, we're going to be talking about some things that we do to keep the fire alive in our relationship. This is fire. I'm making a fire. Hi, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Tasha with One Big Happy Life, and we help you find balance, build wealth, and live happy. Everything that you need to create the life that you want.
We just got back from FinCon, which is the financial media conference. And of course, we had a lot of conversations about finances with people. But one thing that really struck me was how many people came up to us and said that they were inspired by not our financial conversations, but the fact that they could tell how close we were as a couple in our videos.
And so that made us realize, so they, of course, had questions for us about that. And so that made us realize that we actually don't talk that much about relationship stuff. But of course, having a strong foundation in our relationship is a key to us having a happy life and also being able to navigate having those financial conversations with each other. So today we thought we'd share some of our go-to happy couple habits that we do in our relationships that helps keep our relationship really strong.
So the first thing is to have regular date nights. I mean, it is really important to go ahead and go through the same process that you once went through when you were courting and dating.
Courting.
I know I said that.
So old.
Okay, but it's so important because there is something to be said by taking that amount of time to focus just on each other and doing all the prep work and having, it doesn't have to be super elaborate, but definitely significant date nights.
Yeah, we don't do those that often, though. I think there's room for the significant date nights. Like when we were dating, significant date nights were like a couple of times a week. Now they're more like a couple of times a year. So I also say to embrace the mini date night. So where the kids go to sleep and you're watching a movie and it's just the two of you and you have your popcorn at home. Or even with Joseph and I would consider mini dates. So when we used to work near each other in DC, we would sometimes meet up for lunch, and often we would meet up just to take a 15-minute walk around the White House. And we'd spend time just talking to each other, holding hands, dodging tourists. And so that's meaningful time where you make a concerted effort to get together as a couple and just spend time together.
Another thing that is really important for us is to encourage individual growth and hobbies. So we are not the exact same person, though we spend a lot of time together. I mean, we love a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
But there are some significant differences. I started doing triathlons again, and that's something that Tasha never really got into. But so she really encourages me to go ahead and pursue that. And then when she wanted to start this YouTube thing back in 2016, I was like, yeah, you should definitely go do that.
And then I pulled him into it. So it's sort of the opposite of encourage each other to have your own pursuits. But it's a good idea to understand that you should not be, Joseph and I, yes, we spend a lot of time together, but we're not completely enmeshed. We are our own people. We have shows that he likes that I don't like and vice versa. And we watch those shows without each other. But not only that, not only the day-to-day living, but we also talk to each other about what are our individual visions for our future. So Joseph envisions himself living someplace really cold, like an Eskimo, and I envision myself not living someplace really cold. So that's something that we have not quite figured out how to join those separate individual desires, but just knowing that we're there for each other, to encourage each other to be the person that we want to be as an individual and not completely compromise everything about who we are so that we can be together is really important.
Another thing that's important is when you're taking care of your house to split the housework. And if you have kids, split the child work, because there is a lot of it. And there certainly used to be a tendency for one side of the relationship to do a lot more work. And now I think we've generally moved on and there are better splits. It is so helpful to not come home from jobs because most couples now are two-income households, I think. So
See,
everybody's
Joseph's
doing
being
it.
nice. By we, he doesn't mean us. It's never been that the balance of work between us has ever been uneven. He means society in general.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact
That's what I'm
that
talking
it
about.
primarily fell on women and men didn't do as much. No, our relationship has been pretty much equal from the very beginning. And that's one of the things that I absolutely loved about Joseph. Joseph can cook. Joseph can do laundry. Joseph can clean the house. You know, his organizational skills are like, you know, I mean, we all have our strengths and our weaknesses. But the point is, if either one of us was like out of capacity, traveling, whatever, the other person can 100% manage the household. And that is absolutely how it should be because we are partners. Now, I know some people like to do that divide and conquer thing where it's like, oh, well, I can't cook worth a damn, so this person can cook for me, and that's great. But when you have kids and you have to tag team, it's really, really great knowing that you can say, you know what, I don't even feel like cooking. Can you cook tonight? Instead of having to go eat out.
I mean, I think at the very least, you need some go-to things. Like, even if you don't enjoy cooking, you just need a few go-to things that you can at least do. And then kind of like same for whatever else other work. You don't have to love it. You just have to be able to get enough of it done. And I organized that garage and it looked awesome.
That's true. That's true. He did do a really good job in the garage.
So
yeah.
I have my organizational moments, though they are far between.
Another really important habit, given that money is one of the most argued about things in relationships, is that we set joint financial goals that we can both agree on. And so what that means is we compromise, right? Because we are different people. And so we have different ideas of what we should be doing with our money. And so we've had to just have discussions about what's most important to each of us to make sure that we're putting those plans in place so we can hit those goals.
Yeah, and this is especially important when you're making major life changes. So when we were moving and looking for houses before we bought this house, we made a list of our priorities, what was most important to us, not just the list of top priorities, but also the weights, like how important was this number one versus the number two. And then we picked this house and threw that all away, but we agreed on it. So
I knew he was going to say that. Like, if you rewind this video and he started talking about looking for this house, I already started shaking my head because I knew he was going to say that. And, you know, a lot of people think that we pre-script our videos. We don't. We are always off the cuff. But so that's why I was shaking my head, because he knows that the master bathroom was a priority for us. And our master bathroom is a standard small 5x9 bathroom. And he's like, how did that happen? He still talks about it 4 years later.
I know how it happened. We came into the neighborhood with the trees that were just blooming in the perfect time. And yeah, that's what happened.
That is really what happened. But I love our house. I love our neighborhood. So, but with the financial goals, though, one of the things that I will say that has really helped us is a lot of couples have conflict about, well, what should they focus on? And so for us, we've always just focused on, yes, we've had our priorities, right? So hitting our minimum savings rate every month has always been a priority for both of us from the beginning, because we understand that building wealth is our number one goal, and it's our biggest and hardest goal. And so it's the one that we need to focus on the most. So we've got that. But we're also both committed to raising our income in sustainable ways to allow us to have all of the things that we want in our lifestyle. So that's definitely something that couples don't talk about enough as a couple. Like, okay, we both want these things. We don't quite have enough money for this. How can we grow our income as a couple and still maintain our lifestyle so that we don't have to compromise on these financial goals that we have?
Next, I want to talk a little bit about communication. It is important that you tell your partner exactly what you want. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, like, exactly. No hint, like, don't beat around the bush, because they cannot guess. I'm a good gift guesser, but I am a terrible guesser at what other people are thinking or wanting. And so Tasha has to basically tell me, hey, this thing is really important to me. And then it's like, okay, got it. And I can run with it.
Yeah, except for when I tell him that it's really important that he not try to guess what the gift is that I'm giving him. He can't seem to like not do that. It's like a thing.
It's my one flaw.
But yes, I feel like, especially women, it's kind of setting couples up for failure, because as women, we're taught that in order for a man to to be perceived as romantic, he has to anticipate our needs. Like, that's how a man makes us feel loved. But all that does is set us up for being mad at him for not knowing exactly what we need, right? So instead of seeing the romance in the guessing, right? Him guessing what you need, just tell him what you need. And the romance is in him giving you exactly what it is that you need. It's a magical thing. Tell him what you need, he'll give it to you. It's awesome. Try it.
Yeah. Now, having said that, over time, you get better at understanding, oh yeah, this is the time that Tasha needs alone time, or it's like she needs to really dig into the business and don't go into the room at all and be quiet outside it.
Now, I will say that this goes both ways. Joseph is one for not saying what he needs and just going without what he needs indefinitely. And I think a lot of men are like that. So even...
Yeah, so I can say it's me fighting this kind of stereotype where we're not supposed to ask for things or say, hey, I need this. But in reality, there are things that I need. And so if I keep it to myself, then I just end up getting grumpy.
Yes. And then we have to then have a conversation about, okay, well, what's wrong? What is it that you need? And typically it's more time for him to do, right now it's triathlon stuff. So he spends at least an hour a day, if not 2 hours, just working out. But as long as he has that time, he is good. So we try to guard that time so that he has it, because he has made it clear, either by not making it clear and getting grumpy, or by actually telling us that he really does need that time. All right, next, one of our super secrets to success, which we've actually talked about a couple of times here on the channel, but we actually shower together almost every single night. Most nights we're showering together.
That's true.
And we're not tiny people. I know you can't really tell what's going, our actual size in person, but Joseph's 6 foot, I'm 5'8". So we are large people. We both weigh over 200 pounds. Okay. And we have always showered together, even when our shower was a little 3x3 shower, even when I was 9 months pregnant, and we're doing this weird sort of balancing trade in to get to the shower kind of showering. But when you shower together, it's a really intimate, quiet time for you to just focus in on each other. And I don't know, it's just really nice just to spend that time together as a couple.
Yeah. It's been surprising that we've kept up this streak.
Yeah.
So the one that impresses me the most is Philadelphia. Our apartment, there is no way that shower was 3x3.
Yeah.
It's got to be smaller.
2.5 by 2.5. And
we're
just
so tiny. And dark too.
Yeah.
Because there was no really good light overhead. So it was
And we still did it there too. And it's just now such a natural part of our evening routine and part of our relationship that we both look forward to every single night. Just getting back in tune with each other, touching base with each other every single night. Even to the point where the other day I went upstairs to talk to Joseph. I wasn't even planning on going to bed. I just went upstairs to talk to him, and he was in the shower. And before I knew it, I had already brushed my teeth, because it was such a habit for, if he's in the shower, that I'm hurrying to try to brush my teeth so I can get in the shower before he's finished, because he will dry out and he doesn't like to put lotion on. So, but I didn't go in there to shower with him. And then I came back downstairs and I'm like, my breath is minty. Why? And then, I had just subconsciously brushed my teeth after years of training myself to brush my teeth quickly when Joseph's in the shower.
So funny. Another thing that we do basically every single night, unless it's too hot, is we snuggle before falling asleep.
Yeah. So. And even if it's too hot, we will still touch. So we have a king size bed. So most nights we will, and a single pillow. So funny story. This video is going to be super long. Which means that
she has a queen size bed and I have a twin.
Yeah. So this video is going to be super long, but Alexis came in the room the other day and she's like, we have a king size bed and there was just one standard pillow on there, standard size pillow. And she's like, why do you only have one pillow on your bed? And it's like, oh, well, that's Dad's pillow. I don't sleep with the pillow, but I end up we end up sharing the pillow at night when we first fall asleep because we're snuggling.
Regardless of how many times I've told her, get your pillow and just put it there, because you do sleep on my pillow more than you think.
Yes, but snuggling, again, is way to be physical with your partner, to get intimate with your partner. It's, can warm you up to do other things with your partner. So,
But
yes.
yeah, so there are studies that show that sleeping together and just not even the intentional touching, but even the unintentional touching at night ends up making you both happier.
I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure I didn't make that up. It's probably there.
And the last thing that I will say that we do that really helps strengthen our relationship is that we say thank you for the little things. So we really do appreciate every single thing that we each do every day to make our lives better. Like, never take those things for granted. Just little things like, I don't even know. What are some of the things that we say thank you to each other for? Like the tiniest things.
Yeah. So basically, anytime that we ask for anything or they do anything.
Yeah. Just thank you. Just be appreciative. And we're like this not only with each other, but we also try to show that appreciation with our children as well, just because we know that it takes effort for a person to live with the person and to share a space with a person and to continually show up and give your best self to a person day after day after day. And we don't ever want to feel or get in a position where we're taking that for granted.
Yeah. And I mean, it's already working on the kids. I mean, because we actually want it to be just a habit that they don't even think about, that they're appreciative of everything that's going on. And so Reeves is getting really, really good at saying thank you anytime you bring or give him anything. So super excited about that. It's working.
All right, so those are some of our happy couple habits. We hope you guys enjoyed this probably unusually long, but very laid back and like inside look into our couple life video. So drop us a comment down below and, just say hello because we'd love to hear from you.
All right, see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.